Hey you there, do you like these nails? In this video, I'll show you how I got there and my entire process. Alright, so I started off with my, natural nails. I tried to file them as close to each other as possible, like the lengthwise. I didn't do the best job, but please forgive me. Starting off with getting some of that dead skin off of my cuticle area with a wooden pusher, trying to get up close so you guys can see like what exactly I'm pushing. It's hard to see until you're pushing them back where the dead skin is. It also has a different texture that comes with experience. You'll start feeling the slip of dead skin that's on your nails. You just want to make sure that you're getting all of that off so the product is sticking. And here I'm just buffing the surface of my nail to get, more cuticle off, the surface shine. Now my nails obviously aren't very shiny in the first place. I've kind of neglected my cuticle oil and hand lotion, and I've been using a lot of hand sanitizer lately. So my nails have been definitely in much better shape, but the reason I'm doing this is to help with adhesion still. You just really don't want to take any chances when it comes to prepping your nails. You want to make sure that they're prepped really nicely so that the product stays on. And the goal here is to remove shine, not etch into your nail or make it too thin. It's hard to get the hang of that. You just don't want to do too much or too little. Next, I'm using my Young Nail Swipe. This is going to help me clean the dust off of my nails and also maybe even some more oil. I do this with a lint-free wipe. I believe these are the OPI lint-free wipes. I can't promise that. I think they might have been the off-brand that I bought. I can't remember. But when you're doing this step, you really want to get into the creases and every nook and cranny. Next, I'm using my Model 1's dehydrator. You just really got to make sure those nails are nice and dry before you start applying the product, or else, it can chip and peel within a matter of a couple of days. Now keep in mind your nail enhancements, whether it be gel polish or acrylic nails or hard gel nails, polygel, whatever you may be using, they're not meant to last forever, but you do want them to last at least more than a week. Oh, I slowed down this part because just to point out, it's important to close your bottles. And I was remembering that because I was getting my Young Nails Protein Bond out. And if you've ever used this, you know how easy it is to knock it over and all of it spill out all over your table. So I'm going to use this. It's basically like a double-sided tape for nail products. I've been using this for a couple of years now, and it's been my favorite. I've only tried a couple of other products, but so far this one is just superior. I use 2 coats of it if I'm doing acrylic nails. Depends on the product that I'm using. Next is the base gel. I do use Beetles throughout this whole video, but we're going to do the first layer of the base gel, and I'll get more into that later on. But you want to make sure that you're working in thin layers, coating the entire nail. And while this is going on, I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to kind of talk about who I am. Usually I only post shorts. I've always wanted to post a longer content video just for the fun of it. But this video has been sitting in the editing software for probably 2 weeks. So I had all of the clips, and then it took me a couple days to put them together, and then I just didn't touch it again. Here I'm wiping off the tacky layer. The reason I am doing this is because I'm going to buff it again. The reason I do this is because before I had a little bit of base coat left over from my last set, I did just kind of file it off. I don't prefer soaking my nails off unless it's absolutely necessary, because I already have a bad habit of using hand sanitizer every second I can, and I got out of the habit of using my cuticle oil and my hand creams. My hands are very dry, as you can see. My nails are very dry, and I just don't want to subject them to more acetone if it's not necessary. So I do realize I did speed up this segment a little bit, or maybe all of the segments. I can't remember, but I know it looks like I'm filing pretty hard here, but I'm not. I'm not putting any pressure on the file. I'm just trying to get all the lumps and bumps out from removing my last set. And then I believe I actually put 2 layers of base coat on, or maybe this is the first layer. I'm filing out all the bumps, and then I'm going to put another base coat on. I can't remember, it's been so long since I've done these, but that is my typical process. After I do this, I'll do another layer of base coat before I do the colored gel. Here I'm just buffing it a little bit more because I started getting nervous with the file and if I was touching any of my natural nail. And I know a good way to get past this is to probably just do false nails, gel X, etc., etc. But I just prefer my natural nails when I'm working on myself just because of personal preference. Just the way it feels on my nails is better if it's just gel polish, honestly. Oh, that was to show I do another layer. And this is the color I'll be using. Went through that a little fast. All right, so we're gonna get this nice darkish red color on. You just want to make sure your first layer is thin. I know it's probably going to look a little streaky, or, you know, sometimes the gel polishes, certain colors, formulas, whatever, the first coat just looks a little off, but you just gotta trust the process. That's the whole thing with nails, is trusting the process. So while I'm doing this, while you're watching this, I'll just tell you a little bit more about myself. I started doing nails, my own nails, with, you know, regular polish as we most do. When I was younger, I always liked to play around with doing different designs. And, you know, when I got my first dotting tool, I thought I was the absolute best little nail artist. I don't really even know. I think I got a lot of... I mean, the internet was around back then, not to show my age, but I don't know where I got most of my inspiration or tutorials. I think it was maybe a site called Image Fave, maybe. Me and my friend, we used to hang out and do our nails all the time, and I've just always had an interest in it, but I never really thought of making a career out of it. Still haven't. Everything that you see is my friends and family or myself. I do have my license, but that was just because I wanted to learn more about it. Next, I'm using the stamping plate. I did wipe off my nails of the tacky layer. It's just easier with stamping if there's no slip. This is the Clear Jelly Stamper brand, I believe. Yes, Clear Jelly Stamper. So we're going to get that on. I'm not the best at stamping. I sometimes press too hard and it messes the image up. But there we go with our first lace stamp on the nail. Just kind of pressing in the corners a little bit. Just where, you know, your skin folds kind of mess it up a little bit. But I skip forward to all of them having the lace. And next, I'll be using the Velvet Matte Top Coat from Madam Glam. Oops, I forgot that I used a different brand, sorry. All right, so I'm just going to go over this lace to protect it for when I take off the stuff that got on my nails. So we're just going to do that on each nail. I do want to point out that this definitely is sped up. Just watching it back is so funny. I'm very careful when it comes to my nails, so it does take me a long time to do my own, or really anybody else's nails, you know, my friends and family. I am still kind of behind when it comes to getting my, you know, time up. I honestly don't know if I'll ever be the type of person to get a set of nails done in anything less than 2.5 hours. That's just the way it is for some people, especially if you're not working in a salon or even I don't work on clients. This isn't something that I get to do all the time. I do want to get maybe a practice hand. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. All right, so now I am getting the rest of that off with just regular nail polish remover, not acetone. As I said before, my hands and nails are very dry. Acetone is drying. Nail polish remover is drying a little bit, but it does have some additives in there to help with moisture. So it's a little better. All right, next we're going in with our liner and our young nails. I don't remember what these are called. But this part, oh my goodness, it took me forever. I was trying my best to get it in the middle of the nail. I was checking from every angle to see if it was in the middle. Most of the time it wasn't, and I was wiping it off, redoing it. And you'll see like little jump cuts in here, of course, of me doing that. I didn't want to keep all of that in the video. That's just not necessary. But yeah, I definitely struggled with this. It reminded me a lot of when you're doing winged eyeliner. And, you know, one side looks better, so you try to make the other side look that way, and then it's bigger, so you do the other side bigger, and it just kept going and going. So really, any kind of nail art, if you're trying to do the same thing on each nail, if you're used to eyeliner, or if you've used eyeliner, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. And I'm sure if you do nail art, you know exactly what I mean. It's really tough if you try to do each fingernail the same design. It can get really frustrating. The other issue I was having with this was getting it doesn't self-level as much as like regular gel polish. I'd go in between whether or not I want to use gel polish to do designs or gel paint. Is that what they're called? Gel paint? Probably, but gel paint, it doesn't level as much, so it is, you know, it's thicker. And I was also getting a lot of lint in there. But yeah, let's just get past that. The next thing I'm doing is putting a no wipe top coat just over top of the black. And I had no idea how hard this was going to be to see. And every once in a while, the top coat would start spreading over like the lace and red part, and I would have to wipe it off and redo it. And then there was more lint, and this really tested my patience when it comes to nail art. I started regretting this being the set that I was going to do my first long form content with. That was a chrome powder that I'll be using. I remember the color of the chrome powder was gunmetal. It's not silver. Well, it looks silver right here, but it is a gunmetal powder. And I'm sorry that I'm using what are those called? Like the old school eyeshadow applicators. I'm using one that I had used a blue pigment before on the other side. So sorry, it's not aesthetically pleasing. But here we go. That's after all of the chrome powder was applied. You can see now a little bit that it's not like as silver as that first clip of it showed. So right now I am trying to get some of that excess powder off. I believe I already top coated the chrome. Yeah, because we're at the end. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. This was fun. See ya.